Hey y'all. So, happy Tuesday to everybody. Hey Sunny. Hey Purdue. Hey Alright. Hey Atticus. Hey Regretful. Hey ADOS. How y'all doing? Hopefully, everybody's having a good Tuesday. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Benjamin. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here. Hey, Cajun. Hopefully, y'all are having a good Tuesday. Hopefully, better than mine. It's just a lot going on. Y'all know how that gets. But, hey, Calentis. Oh, thank you, Charles. Aren't you just so sweet? But if y'all are new, make sure you let me know where you're from. I love to know where y'all from. And Cajun is not gonna start with me tonight. He took me some thank you for being on time. I've been pretty on time the last couple times. Now I did not send y'all a notification out last week, but I said I was not gonna let that happen again. So okay, Benjamin is from Chicago. Don't be going to get no Subway at 2 a.m., Benjamin. Hey, J.O. All right, y'all. So, Calentis is from Mobile but lives in Georgia now. Okay, hey, Isaac. Hey, Liza. So, y'all, hopefully everybody's doing good. So, hey Dan, hey Tony. Dan is from Tulsa. Okay, cool. So Elizabeth said, did you hear about leaving memes up and depending how you respond to them, they will ban you or put you in Facebook jail? These people, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Twitter, everybody is literally doing the most right now. Like, it's getting so serious out here. Jared is from Birmingham. Hey, Lavon. Atticus said, if a sandwich is so good, I won't drop it while getting beat up. I want to know if they deliver out of state. I know, right? Or especially if you drop it while getting beat up and you even think to pick it up. Like, that's just even worse. So Tony said he got banned for saying illegals. The same thing happened to me one time on YouTube. I was talking about this guy who was like a pastor and a retired teacher. He was killed by an illegal immigrant, and YouTube would not let me, like, usually they'll just demonetize your video, but this particular time they would not even let me post it. Yes, How Wise, I'm here every Tuesday at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday. And then my other videos, I just drop them depending on what I want to talk about, what I'm in the mood to talk about, what's going on. It just depends. Hey, Tucker. Peace and love to you too. Thank you, Dean. Welcome. I have some really cool followers, so welcome. Where are you from, Dean? Yes, so I'm going to talk about that tonight, Cajun. Well, a little bit, but Scott said, I put a pic of a dog on Facebook and they took it down, said it violates community standards to compare men to dogs. Yeah, me and all my friends thought it was funny. Really? That is so weird. Okay, Dennis from Texas. Cool. I love Texas. But so let's do a mental wellness check, okay? I need to check on y'all because in the last 2 weeks, we have been through hate crimes, blackface, Subway sandwiches, Amazon getting turned around, uh 50 Democrat candidates popping up a week to say they're running. We've been through sexual assaults in Virginia. Like, I just need to know y'all doing okay because over here, I'm like, what the heck? Scott said he is not mentally well. No need to check. I'm telling you, like, literally, the Gucci thing, blackface popping up here and there. It's still Black History Month, the national emergency. Like, y'all, the internet is going crazy. Late term abortions, anti-Semitics. Like, oh my goodness. And see, Calenta said, I forgot about that. I haven't heard much on Fairfax. See, this is what I be talking about right here. They hit us with so much. It's so distracting. So you will literally forget the point of where we even started. Literally. The Jussie Smollett thing completely replaced the Ralph Northam thing in the media. They're still talking about it a little bit, but Jussie Smollett has been taking up all the freaking airtime. The blackface shoes, like, oh my goodness. So I'm just making sure y'all all right because some of this stuff, literally, this is like all in a matter of 2 weeks, I think. Hey, Raymond, welcome. This is literally in a matter of 2 weeks, y'all. And who can keep up? It's straight madness. And people think I really care about what the heck Gucci is doing, what Prada is doing. No, it's way too much. It's way too much going on. Atticus said, anyone thinks they create a news lie to cover up the last lie so we can change discussion. Look, we lie worse over here. Look here. Right. Right. And some of it is just straight up intentional. Hey, Michael, thank you. Some of this is straight up intentional, straight up distractions. Like, it's just a whole mess. You got Kamala Harris out here with her hot sauce. So I'm looking at the picture or whatever. And some of y'all know that I do photography or whatever. I also do photo editing. So, I don't want to put out like anything that's not true. So I always just try to check. So I'm looking at the picture and I'm really looking at it to make sure it's not photoshopped and all this. Hey, Kim. I'm looking at it to make sure it's not photoshopped and all this. I'm looking at it from different angles. I'm looking at the perspective of the picture. I'm like, this lady really took a picture of her using hot sauce. Like, at first I thought it was a stretch. But I'm like, okay, first of all, I noticed your wedding ring. She's only been married maybe 4 years. So I'm knowing this is not an old picture. Then the perspective of the picture, the way the picture is laid out, I could tell this person is sitting right across the table from you. This is not a paparazzi picture. This is not a sneak picture. Like, they're literally sitting there and you, oh my God. Hey, Third Eye. And so And that's another thing, Eliza. I'm glad you said that. Eliza was like, when are people going to start linking Kamala to Jussie's scandal? This is the thing. See, people are actually starting to do it now. I saw somebody mention it on the news. I'm seeing several YouTubers mention it now. But I had mentioned it here, like, when it first happened, we had been talked about the lynching bill, right? And how that bill was just like a, stuff that people just throw you to just be like, oh, I did this. And that was one of the first immediate connections that I made. I was like, so nobody's going to say how Kamala Harris is basically championing this. I was like, it's only a matter of time. And I knew for a fact if the story had turned out to be true, she was going to use that to prop up this bill, and I could just see her and Jussie just standing at the podium, linking arms like they done won some type of victory. So we called it like weeks ago, and so now I'm just starting to see people catch up, y'all, and that's telling me if I can make these connections, and people in the CNN studios and the MSNBC studios and the Fox News studios are not doing it early on, and y'all are connected to all these people, y'all are way more, or should be way more educated and informed than me, and y'all are not making these connections, like either something's not right or y'all got to pick up the pace. It's hard for me to believe that people that do this for a living, like, y'all job is to be journalists, to be investigative, to make connections, to ask questions. Hey, Beast by Blue. This is, y'all literally do this for a living, present information. I go work an 8-hour job and I still have time to come and research and make connections where y'all not making them. Something is not right about that. So we called it weeks ago. I think when it first happened, like that same week, we were already talking about this. So now it's like, wow, now I see other people talking about it and making those connections. So do y'all actually think that Kamala Harris and Cory Booker are going to be investigated to see if it's some type of like connection? That was my original question, because now me just seeing so much stuff going on, to some people it might sound like a stretch, but you really can't put anything past people these days. And so I would just be curious to see some type of questioning going on, because I had already said it was just too opportune. It was too perfect. The whole thing, how it played out, was written like a story. And remember, I think I had already told y'all about the lynching bill back in November, before the Jussie Smollett situation ever happened. Hey, away. So I'm like, how convenient is this? But Mrs. Spence said Kamala looked pretty nervous when she was asked about it, right? Like, wasn't that so awkward? I saw the clip today. Thank you, Digibite. All right, Sal, we got somebody from Toronto, Canada. Hey. Beast by Blue says Charlamagne gave us Dunk the other day for criticizing Kamala Harris, but not Cory Booker. Shaking my head. I think I saw what you were talking about when he was saying how people kind of switched up that about the music she listens to or something like that or whatever. But she was certainly, hey Daniel, she was certainly thrown off by it, but I don't know, man. I always say the news, our government, it literally just sometimes feel like a straight up episode, a scandal. Like, really. So, I don't know. And then I've also heard Kamala is using some of Hillary Clinton's staff and campaigners to work for her. This is one thing I must say, y'all. As a Black woman, I have never tried to go over and beyond to prove my Blackness. And so not only do you do that and it almost comes off like a complex, but it's also very insulting to people that actually care about your policies, okay? I've seen some people saying that Bernie Sanders is not going to be able to win the Democratic primaries because they don't believe that another white straight male will be able to win the Democratic ticket again. And I think they are really underestimating how people feel insulted by pandering and the amount of research that people are doing now, whether they agree with your policies or your position or not. Okay. It's a lot of people not feeling Kamala Harris, and I would argue that Bernie Sanders will win well over Kamala Harris. Like, I mean, there's just no doubt about that. Let's go, PG. Don't come in here trolling tonight. So Eliza said, and why is Cohen's lawyer now representing Jussie? So I heard somewhere else that now he's actually hired like a crisis lawyer or something. I remember hearing that somewhere. So it's really hard to keep up with some of the stuff. There are a lot of like not official news sources coming out with different parts. And so it's been really hard to really just keep up with everything that's been going on. Lily Pat said he needs to stop. Beast by Blue said, nah, let him troll. Kamala hates Black men, but PG is offending her. Yeah, like, I know he likes me. You know, I know he likes to watch my videos and stuff, but I could literally say the sky is blue and he's going to come in here and say the opposite but I let him stay. He doesn't bother me. So we're going to hear what happens with Jussie. I hear, the police want to talk to him again. And the police want to talk to him again, interview him, and see what's what. But y'all, this is so funny. Why do I actually know somebody that knows the Nigerian brothers personally? Like, I'm like, this is just crazy madness. So I'm like, what the world? I actually know somebody that lives in Chicago that used to work out with, like, recently with one of the brothers. I'm like, oh God. But so we'll see. Yes, for real. It's so crazy. So he was like sending me the guy Instagram, and he was like, he texted them to see if he would respond. I'm like, what'd you say? What's up? Like, like, what are you gonna text him and say? Like, he's hemmed up right now. Like, he is not gonna text you. He's not gonna incriminate himself any further, I'm sure. Third Eye said he lost his role in Empire. He has small scripts now. That's what I've been hearing, but I guess we'll just see what happens. But who would want to be associated with that? I don't blame them. So I really can't wait, like, for the truth to come out. I talked about my initial concerns with the story because especially us, right, that are like used to seeing fake news stories now, I feel like not only are we more skeptical, but we're way more rational, and we start to think, okay, now does this really make sense? Like really, really. So I don't know. But the Democrats are gonna have a lot of people to choose from come 2020. So Bernie Sanders was just added to the ticket. You got Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Tulsi Gabbard, who is literally been like a blackout in the press on her. Coca chair. You had that other lady. What's her name? I think she's a senator. I know you have the Marianne Williamson lady. Oh my God, so many people, so many to keep up with, but we'll see what happened. Anyway, so I wanted to ask y'all. I know, Gerald. Just said, could you imagine if the Nigerians speak out for the first time live on Rhonda's channel? I literally thought about that. I was like, man, let me try to make a connection. But you know, for that type of something, man, you're going to have to pay. Because you better believe if I was in that type of situation and probably about to be in trouble anyway, I'm going to be like, look, how much you paying me for this interview? And I cannot compete with CNN. I cannot compete with Fox. I cannot compete with what MSNBC will pay. So I was like, that's crazy. But nah. Eliza said, but what if you're an Empire fan though? Like he ruined it and I don't watch a lot of TV. I probably watched like 3 episodes of Empire. I couldn't do it. It was just too much for me, but I don't really watch TV like that. Anyway, but I did want to ask y'all, so how did y'all feel about the Alexandria Cortez, the recent deal with New York? Raymond said, I'm Republican, but if I had to pick one of today's Democrats, it would be Bernie Sanders. I do believe he is sincere to his causes. I hope he's sincere. I also want to believe he's sincere. Like I'm asking y'all about AOC right now. I really want to believe she's sincere with this with this New York deal. But like, hey Debo. So not the Green New Deal, the where Amazon was gonna come. Yes, with Amazon, where Amazon was gonna come into New York, bring 25,000 jobs. Average salaries of $125,000. Like Levon said, New York is mad at her. Purdue said she screwed her people. Laura said she did good. Atticus said socialism always ends with Detroit. Thank you, Charles. So, Atticus, I don't know how long it would take for you to get the accent, because I promise you, I could probably live in New York for 20 years and not be able to get rid of it. So, but So y'all, okay, so back to these people being sincere, right? Okay, so basically with the AOC thing, 20 up to 25,000 new employees over 10 years, an average of, I think I said 125,000 for salaries. That's average, y'all. Now, in revenue over the years, you would have been looking at 27.5 billion in tax revenues. Okay. The trade-off was a 3 billion tax incentive for a 10-year 27.5 billion in taxes. Okay, let me read this first. Thank you, Ronald. Ronald said, Democrat Party is too divided and does not stand a chance in 2020. Establishment Dems won't allow progressives and progressive voters, and this rise and walk away movement won't vote establishment. That's kind of like, that was my thinking too, as far as like so many people running. But I think the media is literally going to pick. Because like I said, good publicity, bad publicity is still publicity. And I literally feel like whoever the media gets behind is most likely going to win the Democratic ticket. Right now, I think it's been Kamala Harris. But now that Bernie Sanders has put his ticket in, I think it could go either way, but more so going Bernie, because a lot of people are not feeling Kamala Harris, and a lot of people love Bernie Sanders. So we'll see. But that was my thinking too. I think it's gonna cause a lot of division and stuff like that. But so y'all, the trade-off, 27.5 billion in tax revenues over 10 years for a 3 billion tax incentive. Now, you know, when you think about these large companies, and this is something I wanted to talk about even with the green, when I did a video about her last week talking about the Green New Deal, and some people's response was, you know, well, what about the positive? You got to take the positive from this. You got to look at the positive. But the thing is, the actual job of a politician is to look at implications of policies, look at the adverse effects of it, look at the positive and negative effects, look at basically everything that could come from this, right? So when you think big company, it's easy to just look at $3 billion and say, oh, you don't deserve that. You're this billionaire company. But when you literally start to think about not just the company, right? You have to think about the construction workers, the brick and cement layers, the truck drivers, the engineers, the electricians, okay? All these people that would have just worked simply just on a construction, right? Right now, we're literally just talking about just construction to put the building up. And this tax incentive would have been temporary. This was not a forever type thing, okay? Now, after construction, once that building is up, 25,000 people working, you have to think about all the other jobs that this one company is going to create. Because now what's going to happen is to support those 25,000 people, to market to those 25,000 people, you're going to need retail stores, You're going to see coffee shops popping up. You're going to see more technology because these people are going to need computers and cell phones. You have to think about the eateries and the restaurants that would feed these people. Those are all jobs. And so, is easy to say, oh, like, and to see, I don't know, it was just weird because it was literally like a celebration of jobs not coming to New York. Another thing people really have to think about, who are moving their businesses into New York? People aren't just jumping up and saying, hey, I think I want to move my business to New York. No, because New York is very high cost of living, high taxes, all type of taxes, high property taxes. So you don't have little mom and pop shops just getting up saying, hey, I think I'd like to start my business in New York today. So that's literally something to consider. Not only that, I was looking at a poll today, and where is it? According to MSNBC, 56% of people in New York approved of this Amazon deal, 36% disapproved, 8% no opinion, right? So that's 28, like people are saying 28,000 jobs, but you're not even thinking, Alston said food trucks. We're not even thinking about all the other jobs that this would have supported or helped create. Thank you, Charles. Charles said, Rhonda has my support. Everyone owes $70K. Pay up and we can start over again. Thank you, Charles. But literally 56% of New York is for the Amazon deal, but you have a politician here applauding Amazon leaving. Cajun said people are leaving New York and the governor is begging for them to stay. Cajun, I literally just watched a video yesterday. People are leaving California and New York in droves. Are people still moving to California and New York? Absolutely. I mean, of course. But when you compare it to the numbers of people that are leaving, and these are supposed to be the most progressive states, y'all. These are supposed to be the states with the best, or trying to get free health care, free college. I think they are working on free daycare. Very liberal and like what do you call it? Very liberal in their views of on abortion, on sexual identity, right? Like being identified how you want in these things. But when you look at the numbers, people are literally leaving in droves. People are voting and moving with their feet. And the fact of this disconnect, it makes me wonder, like, what are they not getting? What are you not seeing? And so, yeah, Alston, the cost of living is so high, but then you have politicians here literally making it harder. And so when you have something like this, right, and you put it up beside AOC's Green New Deal, where you literally want people to have universal income, do y'all see what I'm saying? You're playing right into people's hands who say Democrats don't want people to work. You don't want people to work. You just pushed away 25,000 jobs and celebrated it. And 3 billion may sound like a lot, but in a bigger scheme of things, I think I said 27.5 billion in tax revenues over 10 years. They would have been getting well over $1 billion in revenue per year. Like, so these are the things people have to look at. So now when I'm looking at this, you know, one thing I've always said something about politicians is that you cannot, we wish we could. I like unicorns and rainbows and mimosas and clouds too, okay? I really do. But unfortunately, you cannot run the country like that. You cannot run cities like that. And it really makes me wonder, okay, do you have good intentions, or what is it when the people there are telling you they want this one thing and then you do something totally different? Like, it sounds beautiful to, we care about the people here, you know, we want to see our people make high wages. We want to try not to speed up gentrification. You know what I mean? I get that. But this is a real world, okay? This is a real world where one of the things people need to survive and have a chance to build productive families, they have to work. You have to bring money to those areas. Point blank, period. You have to uplift these communities, help bring them out of poverty, okay? Because first of all, that's going to fund your schools. That's going to fund education. And we all know more educated children, well-educated children, leads to a more productive society. So people might look at this and say, $3 billion, that's $3 billion. But it's way, way, way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Hey, Corey. CD Master said $3 billion is like buying a set of tires for Bezos kind of money. So I'm curious to see how people are going to react to that moving forward, to see these policies in real time. Thank you, Sean. Sean said Latinos for Trump. I'm really wondering how people are going to view this in real time, because it's one thing for you to have these bullet points in this Green New Deal. It's another thing to see here visually, dang, we just lost 25,000 jobs. So Gerald said the people leaving are the ones making the money because they are tired of paying for everyone else's existence via the high taxes. And this is the thing of what people need to understand. When you don't value or promote economic evolvement, these people have money to move these businesses elsewhere. Now, Amazon is not gonna move overseas because they're looking at other places to move this headquarter, but they very well could. And so these are the things that people need to look at in terms of policy when it comes to these cities and these countries. To these cities and the country. These are the things you have to look at and think about and remember when you're voting for people and what type of policies that you want to see and how those policies may positively and negatively impact you. Gerald said, I've lived in California 30 years and I'm now considering moving to Texas. I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Texas, from what people say, seems to be a great move. There is a big economic boom going on in Texas. I heard that people get jobs easily in Texas and do very well in Texas. I have family and friends in Texas. So, but Rock Lee said Kamala will lose to Trump. Absolutely. I said that a while ago. Absolutely. But so the socialist sweetheart is making headwaves and she's constantly in the media, but I mean she's getting a big media push, and like I said again, good publicity, bad publicity is still publicity. So I would not be surprised at the rate she's going if she has a long-term political career. I would not at all. So y'all, excuse me. It just wasn't. Say they never learned that their own politics cause their pain. And see, this is my thing, right? Because I used to be like this. I used to say, when these people come out and say, free health care for all, free college, free child care, free this, free that, initially your knee-jerk reaction is, oh, that sounds good. I can free up some money. I don't have to pay all this. I don't have to pay all that. It is until you start to research these policies in other cities, in other countries. Just like I talked about in my last video, I gave 3 examples. If y'all have not seen it yet, make sure y'all check it out. I did one talking about the Green New Deal. But you literally have these policies failing elsewhere. And what happens is the media literally hides it. They hide it from us. So if you don't know to go look for these things and they're not talking about it, you don't know. So now I'm getting to the point where I'm so skeptical of everything. I have to research things. Like I've told y'all in other videos, even with the abortion bill, I feel used and manipulated because it started off as, reasonable and rare or something and rare, turned into wrap the baby up, make them comfortable, and the mom and the doctor decide. So we have to look at the implications of these things and if these politicians are actually doing what they said they were gonna do. So CD said, I said it once and I'll say it again. All Kamala Harris has to do is get one of the Obamas to vouch for her and it's over, fam. You think so? Didn't he vouch for Hillary? Did he help campaign for Hillary the last election cycle? Y'all help me remember. I don't know, CD. ND said yes. So I think it'll help, but I don't know if that'll just bring it home for her. So yeah, he campaigned for Hillary, so I don't know. And these days, I'm thinking people love Michelle a lot more and want to see Michelle a lot more than they're caring about Barack Obama these days. Rock Lee said Kamala will only win if the DNC rigs the primary, or if they give her 100 freaking hours of media press. They've been pushing her on us so hard. Carlenta said the Starbucks dude's town hall has him looking better than any other Dems. They should be worried if he can get over the incident in Philadelphia, Trump 2020. Schultz. I need to look into him and see what he's really talking about. I'm really interested that he's running on a independent ticket, and I really want to see if he's gonna let the Democrats bully him into bully him into running as a Democrat. Let me see. Have y'all those of y'all that watch the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and all them? Have y'all noticed the recent spike? Rock Lee said Howard Schultz has no policy. Do most of them have policy? Honestly. But for y'all that watch the Breakfast Club, have y'all noticed recently how it's been a uptick in political figures and political pundits on there? Have y'all noticed that? And of course, most of them they're asking about Kamala Harris. Now tell me if y'all think that that is for a reason. And I'll tell you what I think about it. Yep. John Doe said, I've noticed them doing damage control for Kamala is disgusting. Corey said Breakfast Club helps Democrats seem relatable. Digibody said arm of the DNC. Michael Wright said they're scared to death. Frozen Fox said they're reaching for impressionable minds. Yep. Purdue said he saw the Michael Eric Dyson interview the other day. I literally could not watch through Eric Dyson. I probably made it less than 10 minutes in. I just couldn't do it. But there's literally been such a uptick, y'all. They have had, I can't even remember who all they had on there. But I know they had Michael Eric Dyson on there. They had Bakari Sellers on there recently. They had who else? Like a couple of people over the last few weeks. And it wasn't until after the hey Booker, it wasn't until after the Kamala Harris interview. And now all of a sudden it's like they're trying to do damage control. They're trying to look like they are really talking about politics right now. Yep, they had Cory Booker on there. And now I'm starting to wonder, will they have people like Bernie Sanders and AOC? Will they get an invite on there? And I think if nobody else gets an invite, I kind of feel like that's going to be proof of who they are basically endorsing. for 2020. Because if Hillary Clinton can go on there, certainly you can invite Bernie Sanders. So Large March said, I look at politicians' intentions. Kamala is an ambitious ladder climber. Schultz wants to keep his taxes low. Trump wants to expand his business and get out of debt. Bernie wants to continue MLK's legacy. You think he wants to continue MLK's legacy? You think that's his biggest thing he's trying to do? The pandering is so real for 2020. Anyway, so I want to reach out a little bit of this article that came out the other day because the media is literally dying. Blaze on the Right said, how do you think we should hold the media accountable? I'm about to talk about that now. So NPC said, Bernie said white people can't be poor. I don't recall. I haven't seen him say that, but he definitely ain't worked the white people that have met the white people that have worked with me before. Okay, so Gerald said nothing is free ever. Exactly. And people don't understand that. It hasn't clicked for a lot of people yet. They actually think free means free. No, it's just going to be paid for through your taxes. And not only that, a lot of these companies, they're just going to move. They're going to move to other cities or other countries. If I was a freaking billionaire, do you think I'm going to stay here and pay 70% in taxes, or do you think I'm going to move to a different country where not only will I not be taxed as much, but I can also pay the employees way less than I would have to pay Americans? I mean, but there's just, I guess, something like a common sense approach. But Sally said Byron for real doesn't fit the Democratic qualities. He's male, white, and old. Sally, I talked about that earlier. A lot of people are saying it, but I think y'all are overestimating it. I think y'all are overestimating how much people don't like the other candidates that are on the ticket right now. And I think y'all are underestimating the love that a lot of people have for Bernie Sanders. You really are. And I would say if you put him up against Kamala Harris, he will win by a landslide. So, but okay, y'all, let's look at these because the mainstream media is slowly dying out. Where is my thing? So this article came out on February 10th. Yep. Booker said Bernie is way more appealing than Kamala. He is. And for one thing, it's because he comes off more authentic. That's for one. Corey said Bernie is the 1%. I saw a meme the other day that said something. What did it say? Something about how Democratic politicians try to convince poor people that the 1% is bad while being in the 1%. I don't know. It was something like that. I'm probably not saying it right, but it was funny. Anyway, so y'all, this February 10th, this came out in the Business Insider. More than 2,200 people lost their jobs in a media landslide so far this year. Y'all, this year. This is not even counting 2018, okay? So this was up till February 10th. We're in February, 2,200 jobs. Media jobs, that's a lot of jobs, okay? So the media industry seemed to be in free fall on Friday following the announcement that Vice Media would cut 10% of its staff. McClatchy Company offered buyouts to 450 employees, and Machinima was closing down, bringing the total number of media jobs cut in 2019 to over 2,200. The massive cuts so far this year represent a recent trend of cuts at digital media companies that sprung up as newspapers around the country were shrinking and disappearing. All right, so they trying to say newspapers, but come on now, it's way more than oh, did they say digital? Okay. So all right, so Gatehouse Media lost 60 jobs. This is one of the largest local newspaper publishers in the U.S. They've quietly been laying off journalists across the country since the end of January. Business Insider has confirmed at least 60 layoffs. Machinima, I guess I'm saying that right, y'all. 81 jobs since February 1. They used to be the largest video producers online. It announced its closing in statements to news outlets on February 1. We have Vice Media. The Hollywood Reporter first reported layoffs at Vice Media early Friday. According to the report, the Brooklyn-based media company will cut approximately 250 jobs across the company in the coming week with the aim of trimming down and helping the organization become profitable. That's interesting. Helping the organization become profitable or more profitable? Now that's got me curious. It says, having finalized the 2019 budget, our focus shifts to executing our goals and hitting our marks. Vice Media will reportedly refocus around its TV production unit, its international news team, its digital properties, and its original TV content. We have the McClatchy Company that lost 450 jobs. We have Verizon, which includes Yahoo, AOL, and Huffington Post, okay? Estimated to be 800 people. It says in late January, it was reported that Verizon would cut 7% of its staff as its media companies, which include Yahoo, AOL, and the Huffington Post. All right, you got Gannett, 400 jobs. You got BuzzFeed, 200 people. And it's funny because I think this information ended up coming out right after that little whole thing with them. BuzzFeed, there was how many? 200 jobs. And y'all, it just goes on and on. So the media is losing jobs like rapidly, right? Now you would think my mind would tell me, because I'm just trying to connect the dots, you would think in the information age, people will want more news, more information. Well, seems to be the case that people are now turning to alternative sources for news and information. There is such a huge distrust of the news, including myself. That's literally like a key part of my channel here because my interest in politics, and it's still kind of weird saying it because like I'm into politics, but I'm not like, I don't know, like when you think about somebody being like into politics, I don't know, but anyway. So, but literally a platform with my little 8,000 subscribers. A platform created because of my own curiosity, because the very first moment that I figured out that the media was lying to me, it drastically increase my curiosity, my search for truth, my search for alternative media sources and alternative news. I started watching news that I would not have watched before or previously watched, to do comparisons to what I was watching. So it was a huge transition. And so the scary, crazy part is, with all these layoffs happening, not only are they doing it quietly, but these same news personalities will continue to double down with their numbers declining. So it makes you wonder, what is your real agenda? What are you really trying to do? What is your real purpose? You have the nerve to double down. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if these media personalities, these politicians, are y'all this are you this disingenuous? Because it doesn't add up, y'all. People in these positions like numbers. They're looking at the numbers. They're looking at the viewers. They're looking at the subs. But somehow these stories get crazier and crazier. And this is why I always talk about not letting the news media use you emotionally. Because the news media, once you think about it, they're actually emotionally abusive. It's like being in an emotionally abusive relationship, particularly for Black people. Particularly because it's this constant roller coaster of, look here, look there. This is racist. You should be mad about this. This is terrible. Feel some kind of way about this. Be angry. Be mad. Everything is horrible. The world is crashing. You're going to die tomorrow. Constantly. For everybody that was here at the beginning, I literally did a mental wellness check to make sure my subs are okay. Literally. I had to make sure everybody is present, because within 2 weeks, we have been through late term abortions, blackface, Gucci, Subway sandwiches at 2 a.m., hate crimes, anti-Semitics, like, like everything you can throw at us has been thrown at us within the last 2 weeks, y'all. So it's literally a mixture of, like Plum J said, programming and propaganda. Somehow we went from talking about a governor that enforces laws to a freaking sweater by Gucci. How did we get here? This constant need to insult our intelligence with buzzwords, ridiculous stories. It is a constant emotional roller coaster. And if you are not aware of it, it will eat you alive. You will find yourself focusing on stories that were not true, that do not matter in a larger scheme of things, that will have no freaking impact on you. Do you think I'm about to get mad about a Gucci sweater? Never owned Gucci a day in my life. Why do I have time to be concerned about that? There are New Yorkers that just lost the opportunity of 25,000 jobs. Okay. There are people worrying about children being aborted um late term. So many other things. And so the question remains, what is this dire need to continue to double down with these narratives and talk about things that in a larger scheme of things don't matter? Don't matter. I guarantee you, if you did an algorithm right now, if you did some type of we're able to count for how many social media, so that's including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you could literally count how many posts were made about Ralph Northam versus Gucci, I guarantee you, there are way more posts about Gucci. Way more. Did y'all know that the Covington boys, the boys in the whole Native American Hebrew Israelite scandal, did y'all know they were exonerated from any racial or wrongdoing? Because the media hasn't covered it. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that media sources basically said that the Senate Intelligence Committee said there was no collusion? Did y'all know that? Even though they did try to double back and they're trying to double down now. But the story did come out. Did your news media talk about that? So you literally take hundreds of minutes of airtime to create these stories, right? Think about how much airtime this Jussie Smollett story has gotten. Think about how much airtime this Russian collusion story has gotten. Think about how much um, airtime the Covington boy story has gotten. It's minuscule. No. The retraction of these stories are minuscule compared to that. I'm talking non-existent. Non-freaking existent. Large Merch, MSNBC did a segment about it. They were one of the only, I think, other than Fox, they were only one of the only news, and they did one segment about it. Now, of course, you had some people trying to retract it, but what they were saying in that video, you'll have to go search for it. But there were plenty of articles talking about it. But minuscule compared to the time they take building these stories, y'all. So, you literally have to ask yourself, what gives? Let me show y'all where my journey started. Not even really started, but this is when I was I might be on to something. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember this cover? I think this is the first time when I was just like, wow, right? So Time Magazine, also with other publications that were talking about this moment, used this magazine, and this went viral, y'all. They used this magazine to basically push this idea that Trump was separating this little girl in particular at the border, along with other children. Not only was this a girl from another crisis, I think she's a Honduran girl. Not only that, but if I remember correctly, her dad even came out and said that it wasn't true and she was never separated from her parents. Do you know Time Magazine knew this? Not only did they know it and they admitted they knew it, but they literally said, oh well, we're gonna publish it anyway. I mean, screw that. Screw the truth. We got a story to tell. We have some magazines to sell. I think this was the first time where I was just like, wow, 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 wow. And I literally, because now you got me wanting to know what the heck else are you lying about? That was one of my first, no, it wasn't. But that was one of my videos I think that did well, and I got a lot of feedback on it. But I started to do more research, and I'm like, then I find out all those pictures of the kids in behind the gates, on the concrete floors, under the aluminum blankets. Every single one of those pictures were from the Obama era. This is just plain facts. You can find it, but you have to know to look. You can find the truth, but you have to know to look for it. And you have to be curious to look for it and inquisitive. And this is the first point I was like, what the hell? And so after that, I'm like, if they can lie about this, they can lie about anything. And so now you have a media that's dying. I literally have people come to my channel. They never seen my videos before. Every now and again, I'll come across a comment and people will be like, what's this girl's angle? What is she about? What is she trying to do? What is she up to? When I tell you every single thing I talk to y'all about literally comes from my desire to know the truth, and that is all. And that's why I've always said, people come on my channel like, Rhonda, you should run for office. You should be a politician. I will support you. No, because everything I do is from my convictions. And these politicians, these media people, everything is about money. You have to look at who's funding these people, even these political pundits. You got Simone Sanders disrespecting a whole group of people, telling black men basically to shut up. Where are you coming from with these unsolicited opinions? Please name me any other group she could have said that about. She probably could have said about white men. But any other group. And y'all don't think these people are being paid? Y'all don't think they have allegiances? Y'all don't think they are working with certain organizations to make certain stuff happen and not happen? And so you literally have a media. It makes me wonder, why are you not looking at the numbers? You had the media that told us there was no caravan. You had the media running with uncorroborated stories about Kavanaugh. You had the media, constantly constantly. And these are just ones I'm thinking off the top of my head. And I'm still waiting on the Omarosa M-word tapes to this day. But this is what they do. They plant stuff in your psyche and then they could just disappear with it, right? Because once they say it enough times, that's all it takes. They're gone. They're out of here. And whether they do the follow up on that story or not, it really doesn't even matter because it's in your head now. Now, this Jussie Smollett story is the icing on the freaking cake. It's the icing on the cake. Literally the icing on the cake. If people can't see now, like, you just won't see. Because everybody here, we knew. And I'm still waiting for facts to come out. But I knew from the very first day I heard that story, it was suspicious. Very, very suspicious. And I had concerns. And it's a matter of, on one hand, you have common sense. And on the other hand, when you are literally looking at these stories over a period of time, you start to be able to easily identify fake stories or propaganda. It gets easier the more you pay attention and the more you notice and the more you know what to look for. So this Jussie Smollett thing is literally icing on a freaking cake. Like, news media, news reporters are supposed to be non-biased. They aren't supposed to interject their bias. You don't need to give us a lecture about an alleged story. Okay? And I never understood why media needed people's political leanings to be involved. I never understood that. Just report. I just want the facts of what happened. This is an alleged story of what happened to Jussie Smollett. He is saying that attackers attacked him at 2 a.m. He was going to Subway. They attacked him, said this is MAGA country, and blah, blah, blah. Thank you for watching the Nightly News. Have a good night. But when you get into this is the type of world that's being created. These things happen all the time. This happened to him and da 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 da. And you're just going on and on till you are literally People should believe him. People should believe the victims. Then you literally, once again, because everything, I guess, is black men's fault here lately. But once again, you literally have a meme spreading on Instagram, people literally saying, black men, you need to take up for Jussie like we take up for you. So here we go again, right? Because it wasn't the two white men allegedly who had attacked him. It wasn't their fault. It was immediately black men fault for not rushing to support and overly, like, I don't even know. Even though it was never true. I saw dozens of black male celebrities, entertainers, news personalities, and just regular everyday people sending their best regard. So how people even come up with this stuff, I'm like, where do y'all get this stuff? How? Please make it make sense. Please. So but we're gonna see, y'all. We're gonna keep watching. We're gonna see what happens. We're going to see. And the funny thing is, usually the media will just tuck these stories away. They just tuck them and they disappear and they die out. But I think because of Jussie's character, him being well known, they're not going to be able to do this time. And a lot of people are watching and waiting and looking. I haven't just done, I wasn't really into doing, some of the YouTubers are doing constant updates. I'm not really just into all that, even though I'm nosy. I want to know the outcome of everything. But just to be constantly, no. But people are going to want to know. And this just points to the fake news narrative. So, but I mean, because of that, literally because of that, this has helped me create and start my platform. And it's crazy. And after all this time, and it's been a short time, we still have fake news. Like, make it make sense. So, but we'll see what happens. Helena said, saw a video today of a few people who knew zero updates. And another thing about that, I was saying some of the news articles, like, it's so many people putting out information that I just want to wait till like a lot of this is confirmed. So we'll see what happens. But all right, y'all. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. It's just been a crazy, unbelievable news cycle these last few weeks or whatever. So thank you, Cadillac. Peace and blessings to you too. If you are new here, make sure you sub. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. Because that always helps with getting my videos and getting my channel out more. Thank y'all to the people that's always support me. Y'all are so awesome. Thank you to everybody for the super chats. Thank you, Helena. I'm glad you caught it too. But thank y'all so much. Thank you, Edward. But all right, y'all. I'll see y'all later in another video. Y'all have a good night and a good rest of your week. Bye.